ahead on 12 News, Minds for Math. Students at Wayzata High crunch the numbers to produce one impressive streak. Then, boom, rattle, clank. The sounds local road crews are trying to make go away. But first, a Brooklyn Park student story that not only aims to raise awareness, but to change behaviors. 12 News starts right now.
Hello and thanks for joining us. I'm Alexandra Renslow.
And I'm Mike Johnson. A new superintendent has been hired in the Brooklyn Center School District. Mark Bonine is currently an associate superintendent in charge of Northside Schools in Minneapolis. He will replace Keith Lester, who is retiring. Bonine has 38 years of experience in public education as a teacher, a principal, and associate superintendent. A statement from the school points to his excellent people skills and collaborative leadership style. The school board will now work on a transition plan. Well, the final days of winter have reached a bump in the road, you could say literally.
Potholes are popping up all around the Northwest Metro. Renee Bonneau went on pothole patrol today with the Hennepin County crew, and she's live in Robbinsdale with more. Renee?
Mike and Alex, earlier this winter, drivers dealt with that jarring washboard effect caused by compacted ice and snow. Now, thanks to this past weekend's rain, these road craters like this guy here have been creeping up all over the Northwest Metro, wreaking havoc on our cars.
We hit one on our way here. Driving around Brooklyn Park, it's like a bumpy ride a lot. So I worry about my tires.
If you have anything wrong with your car, like any sort of tight rod end things going on, you hit a pothole and it scares you.
The snow is gone, but we're still white-knuckle driving, trying to detour around the divots in the road.
This is the worst so far this year.
While you're trying to avoid them, Hennepin County patch crews are headed right for them.
The complaints from the public have the priority. Then as we finish those, then we'll move on to the other ones, drive around, try to find what we can find.
Up to now, it's been a mild season for potholes. So far, the county's only gotten 22 complaints, but crews say the numbers will soon pick up.
The roads will start to thaw out, the frost will come out of the ground, it'll start to heave and bust up the pavement.
For the next few months, 3 county crews will be dedicated to patching potholes, and they're just starting to use a hot patching mix that's stickier and works a little bit better in keeping holes covered. So if you take a hit on a county road that's hard to ignore, you can call on these guys to fill it up. Now, you might notice a lot more potholes this season than you did last season because we had such a mild winter. The county only got 10 pothole complaints in the whole winter season. But if you think comparing this season to 2 years ago, we're doing pretty good. That season, they had more than 300 pothole complaints because of an early freeze-thaw cycle. So I guess you could say, Alex and Mike, we're doing pretty well. We're live in Robbinsdale. Renee Bonneau, 12 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Renee. A tenant at a Maple Grove shopping center wants to nearly double in size, but this tenant has nothing to do with retail. Parnassus Charter School wants to expand at the Zachary Square Shopping Center by 25,000 square feet. If it's approved, more than half of the shopping center would then be filled by the school. Zachary Square has struggled to find retail tenants and has turned to non-retail uses, including a daycare and a church. With the proposed expansion, Parnassus would serve students in grades K through 8. It eventually wants to be a K through 12 school. The Maple Grove Planning Commission will study the school proposal tonight.
Meantime, in Golden Valley, the city's planning commission there will get another look at plans to construct 2 large apartment buildings along Interstate 394. The 394 project would remove 2 small apartment buildings, and they would be replaced by 2 6-story apartment buildings. One would be market-rate luxury apartments, the other would be senior assisted living. During a review of preliminary plans, residents in the nearby Circle Down neighborhood had raised some concerns about traffic and added noise. A Brooklyn Park mom and her son are doing something unique to raise awareness about bullying.
It is a big problem. According to the national nonprofit Do Something, 2 out of every 3 teens are verbally or physically harassed each year. And as Sonia Goen shows us, the issue has hit close to home for a Brooklyn Park family.
13-year-old Alex Mitchell is a typical teen. The 7th grader at Brooklyn Junior High likes to play video games, but his life is not as simple as it seems.
It's like on the bus, and it's at my school.
Alex says he's being picked on by bullies.
They call me like bad words.
Last summer, Alex says one of the neighborhood kids started taunting him.
One of the kids just reached over and like pushed me on the back.
The bullying then spread to school.
Calling me names and like just messing with me. It happens all the time now.
He says the kids were so mean-spirited, they even told him to do the unthinkable.
They said, you should just go kill yourself, that you be doing the world a favor.
It broke my heart again. And he told me all of what he had endured that day.
It's not right to hurt somebody.
And he said, I don't have any friends. I'm a loner. I'm a loser. I hate my life.
Alex's mom is trying to turn a negative situation into a positive.
We decided that we just weren't going to take it anymore.
She started an anti-bully group called STOP.
Standing together, organizing and promoting peace.
Wendy Mitchell enlisted the help of a national organization called Stand for the Silent.
We're one family standing up for one kid. And everything starts with one.
Now she wants the group to give a talk at Alex's school.
And if we can save him, one other child, from this torture, then everything that we are doing is worth every second.
Alex and his family started making these bracelets to pay for the group's travel expenses.
To get people to realize that bullying goes on everywhere and that we need to try to stop it.
Alex hopes by telling his story, he can help someone else.
I want the bullies out, all the bullies out there, to see that what they're doing is wrong and to stop.
Now, the bracelets cost $1. So far, they've raised more than $700. For more information, you can log on to our website, 12.tv. Alex, the Osseo School District told me they're holding anti-bullying talks throughout the year.
All right, thanks a lot, Sonia. Meantime, Miss Teen Brooklyn Park 2013 will take an anti-bullying platform to the pageant stage this weekend. Mariah Retnasamai, a senior at Park Center High School, will compete in the Miss Teen Minnesota International pageant on Saturday in St. Cloud. Mariah chose to raise awareness on the bullying issue because she herself was bullied.
The students from Wayzata High School hope to win their 6th straight state title. It's not in football or basketball, but in math.
The 29th annual Minnesota State High School Math League tournament kicked off on Monday afternoon at South St. Paul High School. The team from Wayzata comes in as the top team in the state and winners of 7 of the last 9 state titles. But this season is extra special because it's the final year for the team's longtime coach, Tom Kilkelly.
It's always nervous when you're number one, and you know you've got the team that can be number one, and yet it could come down to a layup, or a free throw at the end of the game, a drop pass in a football game. It's just anything can happen, and the same thing happens in a math competition.
The state championship was still taking place at the time we went to air on Monday afternoon. Up next, a place in Plymouth earning positive reviews on the local restaurant scene.
We'll show you what the Eat Shop has to offer coming up next in Business Matters. And then later in sports, a Benilde hockey star from Plymouth is named Minnesota's Mr. Hockey.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast.
He was responsible for developing Twin Cities restaurants like Buca, Ocean Air, Chino Latino, and Pittsburgh Blue.
And now Michael Larson, formerly of Parasole Restaurants, has ventured out on his own with a new place in Plymouth. In today's Business Matters, we're headed to Eat Shop Kitchen and Bar.
We've kind of become the neighborhood joint.
It's only been on the scene for 6 months, yet Eat Shop already has a wall of smiling mugs from repeat visitors.
It's the food. The food is really tasty.
Located in the former Joe Sensor's restaurant along Highway 55 in Plymouth,
Eat Shop is not a chain restaurant and not a sports bar.
owner Michael Larson is quick to tell you what Eat Shop is not and why a kitchen makeover was necessary.
We had to get rid of some freezers, get rid of fryers, and bring in stovetops because we make our food. We don't buy it frozen, processed, heat, and serve.
In the kitchen, it's modern American cuisine made from scratch. You're as likely to find sous chef Joel Stays making a slow-cooked pork sandwich as you are the signature scallop dish.
We're going to be doing the seared scallops with orange butter, accompanied with fingerling potatoes and green beans with the fennel.
With a business investment of 6 figures, owner Michael Larson has a lot riding on this new venture after spending 25 years with the Parasole restaurant group.
It took me 25 years to save a lot of money. It took me 3 weeks to spend it.
That investment is starting to pay off. Each shop recently took home the Silver Spoon Award, beating out 15 other local restaurants in a taste test by the Twin West Chamber.
They're really putting their heart and soul into this. I think they're offering something that's different.
Judy Johnson of Twin West and a Plymouth council member says the restaurant brings much to the table.
We're trying to find out what people want in this community. This is something they want. They want those opportunities where they can go out for a business lunch or they can bring a family on a weekend.
Back at each shop, they've already got fans and they're determined to gain even more.
We'll continue to try and, kind of make our way into the community.
Owner Michael Larson says his restaurant also brings a seasonal sensibility to the scene, using fresh produce when it's in season. Coming up, the little hobby that could.
We'll show you the popularity of toy trains. But first in sports, Osseo's girl basketball team shoots for a spot in the state tournament. John Jacobson with that and more when we come back. John Jacobson with sports, and pretty good way to end your high school hockey career with a title behind your name.
That's right, one that'll stick with you in a good way
Yeah,
for many years to come, the 29th annual winner of this award. Grand Besse's 2012 hockey season ended with 5 goals in the state Class AA championship, while Grant's Benilde St. Margaret's team fell a game short of reaching state this year. The senior did receive a big honor on Sunday. Besse was named Mr. Hockey, honoring the state's top senior skater. He scored 48 goals while adding 28 assists this season for Benilde. Next year, Besse will play collegiate hockey at the University of Wisconsin. A panel of collegiate coaches, pro scouts, and selected media members vote for Mr. Hockey. Wayzata's hockey team won an overtime thriller in the state Class AA quarterfinals. They got another nail-biter in the semifinals. Big crowd on hand for the Trojans game against top-seeded Hill Murray. Second period, the Trojans' Jalen Wall sets up Chase Haller on the doorstep for a goal. Power play goal for Wayzata, and they're up 1-0. Still the same score with 7.5 minutes to go in the third period when the Pioneers' Davis Zarambinski scores from the top of the circle. It's a 1-1 game heading down the stretch. And Hill Murray gets another one a couple of minutes later. Ryan Black rifles one in from the slot, and it's 2-1 Hill Murray. Final seconds of the game, the Trojans win the face-off here. Wall with a good chance in front, but it's stopped by goalie John Dugas. Hill Murray rallies in the third period, and they beat Wayzata 2-1. Saturday afternoon, the Trojans fell 7-3 to Duluth East in the third-place game. That leaves them with a 22-9 final record. Now to girls basketball, where 4 local schools played in section finals Friday night. Osseo played top seed Roseville in the Section 5-4A title game. Phyllis Webb scored inside, plus a foul right there. Nice backdoor pass. Eric Jones to Linda Barfneck for 2 here for the Orioles. Janae Morton has a big first half. He uses the screen here and gets free for a long three-pointer. And then stops and knocks one down in transition. Morton with 15 points in the first half. Osseo leads the Raiders 28-21 at the break. A big sequence here. Isle Port, the big block. Maddie Malone, the save, gets it to Port. Ahead to Morton. She finds Barfneck cutting for the layup. And Osseo goes up by 9 at 30-21. Morton to Port for a reverse layup. And Osseo's up 37-23. But Roseville rallies largely on the strength of threes from Jacqueline Paz. She nails 3 long ones, and the Raiders close that gap in a hurry. But Osseo never surrenders the lead, and they hold off Roseville to win it 57-53. Osseo is the 4th seed for the 4A state tournament. The Orioles meet number 5 seed St. Paul Central at noon Wednesday in the quarterfinals at the Target Center. For the 3rd straight season, the Park Center girls advance to the Section 3-3A title game to face De La Salle. Pirates hoping for a different result this year against the 2-time defending state champions. And it's Kayla McMorris knocking down a 3-pointer for the first basket of the game. It turns out, though, to be the only lead of the night for the Pirates. Alina Starr with a 3 here for the Islanders. That caps an 8-0 run for De La Salle. She had 11 first-half points. Then distributes here. Natalie Ewell in the lane for 2, putting the Islanders up by 8. Tashana Johnson starts and finishes the break here, taking the pass from Starr. De La Salle is up 14 points at 23-9. Johnson can hit from inside and out. This 3, part of a 20-point first half for the senior. De La Salle scores 53 points in the first half. They cruise to another section title, beating Park Center 80-48. 2 local defending state champions also move on to the state tournament. Providence Academy in Class 2A plays Pine Island in the state quarterfinals Wednesday night at 6. Maranatha in Class A opens defense of its title Thursday afternoon at 3 at Williams Arena. And Mike and Alex, congratulations to former Osseo High School baseball player Tom Windle. He pitched a no-hitter for the University of Minnesota, the Gopher baseball team, their first ever 9-inning no-hitter ever.
Ever.
To win over Western Illinois.
And an Osseo grad.
Yes.
Thanks a lot,
Way
John.
to go. All right.
Still to come, a popular hobby for kids and the kid at heart.
The toys that never grow old when we come back. Finally, a hobby where you're not forced to grow up.
Toy train collectors from all over the Twin Cities descended upon the Northwest Metro this past weekend to share in their love of the hobby. About 200 people gathered in Columbia Heights Sunday afternoon to buy, sell, trade, and admire a vast collection of toy trains. More than 50 collectors were on hand to show off everything from vintage models and accessories to trains with the latest technology. Organizers say that after a generational skip, more children have taken an interest in the hobby.
It's something that if you take a liking to, you might really be with it for your whole life. And that's the nicest thing about it. It's something that's non-threatening that you can do forever.
Organizers say that they've even been seeing a rise in the number of girls who are collecting toy trains. And I hope I'm not giving any secrets away, but I just learned you both have your own childhood
We were just talking
trains.
about that. Mine's up in the attic somewhere.
Mine's in a box somewhere, a Lionel train set. That's very cool.
Same here. My wife has threatened to throw it out.
Yeah. Don't let her do it.
No, it's not
You
going to
never
happen.
know. That could be worse, right?
John, what's coming up for sports tomorrow?
Big night in basketball coming up Tuesday night. There'll be a lot of section play going on, and also a look ahead Tuesday on the news to the girls' state basketball tournament Tuesday at 4.
That's exciting.
Coming up.
All right. Thanks, John.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4.